Okay, so it's like chapter 1, paragraph 3 is about substances and their properties. Substances and properties. Okay, so a substance. The definition of a substance is everything that has mass. And they also call it matter. So it's either matter or a substance, it's the same, but the definition is everything that has mass. So everything that weighs something is a substance. Substances have properties, and that is what we call property of matter. That's why I wrote matter. Is a typical for that substance, or there's a C there, or basically you can recognize it. That's how you can recognize this, that is actually this substance. Well, some examples are color, or density, or boiling point, flammability, and there are many more. Like sugar is white, so I can recognize sugar because it's white. Density means the weight of something of 1 cubic centimeter. I'll come to that one later. Boiling points, like for example, water has a boiling point of 100 degrees. That is how I can recognize it's water and not, for example, alcohol. Alcohol, on the other hand, is flammable. So if I have a match and I add it to alcohol, it's gonna burn. Water won't, obviously. So that is how I can recognize a substance by its flammability. There are also some examples that are no property of matter. That is shape, volume, mass. Those are things that are not properties of substance. I cannot say that something is sugar because of its shape, because sugar can have a lot of shapes. Same for volume. I cannot say this is water because of its volume, because it can take either more or less water. And same for mass. So I cannot say, okay, this is sugar because it weighs like 2 grams. I can also take 4 grams or 10. So those are no properties of matter. Okay, so I wrote down density. And you know something about density from last year, but I thought it might be a good idea to like redo it again. So density. Density is the mass of 1 cubic centimeter / 1 milliliter, because the two of them are the same. So that means if I have 1 by 1 by 1, a cube of 1 by 1 by 1, and its mass is density. You can calculate density using the formula density equals mass divided by volume. This thing is a Greek letter, it's called rho, and you don't have to know that, but that's why it's not exactly a P, but it sure looks like it. Okay, so then density equals mass divided by volume. Mass is in gram, volume is in cubic centimeter or milliliter. Those are the same, so it doesn't really matter. This formula you should remember. It won't be on your test, so it might be a good idea to print it in your head and don't forget it. So just to give an example, I have aluminum has a density of 2.7 gram per centimeter cube. I have 4.7 gram aluminium. What is its volume? When you get questions like this, it's a good idea to first just write down what exactly do I know. So I'm just going to read the question again and write down everything that might be useful. Like it says, I have aluminum, which has a density of 2.7. So 2.7 gram per centimeter cube. So that's my density. Write down what it is and write down the unit. So both of them, write it down so that you actually know what you're working on. Then I have 4.7 grams aluminum, so I know my mass is 4.7 gram. Then I'm going to write down what do I want to know, and that is, the question is, what is its volume? So V is obviously the one I want to know. Now I'm going back to this formula because I have rho, I have M, and I have V, and I have a formula that has all three of them. And two of them are known, so I can calculate the unknown. I would like to know the volume, and you may want to use this trick. 3 equals 6 divided by 2. 3 equals 6 divided by 2. Now I would like to know the 2, so if I just put my finger on the 2, I have 6 and 3. 6. How do I calculate 2 if I have 6 and 3? I do 6 divided by 3. Back to this one. I want to know the V, so that is M divided by rho. So M divided by rho. Then I can just fill it up. 4.7 divided by 2.7. If I were you, I would just use a normal calculator. You can use your phone during class, not during a test obviously, if you want to, but I really strongly recommend to have a normal calculator so that you can actually get used to the thing. It's a very bad idea to borrow a calculator from someone that you don't know. I mean the calculator, not the someone, which is also a bad idea. Okay, whatever. 4.7 divided by, divided by 2.7 equals 1.74. For now you can just use two decimals, so that makes 1.4 centimeter cube. Please don't forget the unit. So here I also want, what are you talking about and what is its unit? Don't forget to write that down.